All right, time travelers, or just people stuck in a YouTube rabbit hole at 2 a.m. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into some of the weirdest, wildest, and most mind-bending time travel mysteries that, still make zero sense. We're talking about the hipster who showed up in the 1940s, two women who might have slipped through centuries, and a guy who arrived at an airport with a passport from a country that doesn't even exist. And no, this isn't a sci-fi movie recap. These are real stories. Documented, witnessed, argued over on Reddit. So if you've ever wondered whether time travel is possible, or you've accidentally Googled, "Did I glitch the timeline?" then hey, you're in the right place. Let's bend reality a little. Okay, so what if I told you there might be a literal time traveler caught on camera back in 1941? And no, this isn't a Marvel plotline or some weird Reddit thread. This is real history. Kind of. Back in 2004, a photo from 1941 went viral. Yes, pre-TikTok viral. It showed a crowd at the reopening of a bridge in British Columbia. Everyone's dressed like it's the 40s, except for one guy. Sunglasses? Check. Graphic tee? Check. What looks like a portable camera way ahead of its time? Double check. Dude looked like he just walked out of an Urban Outfitters. This guy stood out like a sore thumb, or a dude wearing Yeezys at a Renaissance fair. The internet quickly dubbed him the Time Traveling Hipster. Memes exploded. Theories got wild. Some thought he was a Photoshop prank. Others, well, they grabbed their tinfoil hats and shouted, "Proof of time travel!" Historians actually looked into it. The sunglasses? Turns out similar styles did exist back then. The graphic tee? Possibly a sweater with a stitched logo from a local hockey team. And that camera? Kodak did make portable versions around the 1930s. So technically, he wasn't breaking any timelines. But let's be honest, he still looks way cooler than everyone else in the photo. Like the kind of guy who'd talk to you about NFTs before they even existed. So why did this simple photo blow everyone's minds? Because we love the idea of mystery. Time travel is like that one friend who says they'll show up in 5 minutes. You know it's probably not real, but you want to believe anyway. Photos like this remind us how much we crave the unknown. It's why we binge conspiracy documentaries at 2 a.m. or try to decode ancient alien shows that never actually explain anything. And let's face it, imagining this guy traveled through time just to hang out at a bridge event, that's peak hipster energy. Time traveler? Just a stylish guy ahead of his era, or maybe both? Imagine going on vacation and accidentally walking into the 1700s. And no, not in a cosplay event or Renaissance fair, like actual time travel. Sounds like a fever dream, right? Well, two women in 1901 said it actually happened. So here's the deal. In August 1901, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, two English academics and real-life Jane Austen characters, decided to visit the Palace of Versailles in France. You know, the super fancy place where kings used to party before the French Revolution happened and guillotines got trendy. Everything was going just fine, until it wasn't. While exploring the gardens, they suddenly started feeling weird. The air got heavy. Things got quiet. Like walking into a boss fight, kind of quiet. Then they started seeing people in old-timey clothes, like 18th century old-timey. One man wore a cloak and pockmarked face, another sat sketching. At one point, they even claimed to see Marie Antoinette herself sketching on the grass. No joke. Okay, let's hit pause. Did they just time travel? Or did Versailles have one hell of a costume day they weren't told about? The women didn't say anything at first, probably because no one wants to be the "we saw ghosts in France" people at brunch. But months later, they compared notes, wrote everything down, and eventually published a book called An Adventure in 1911. They genuinely believed they'd stumbled into a time slip, like a glitch in the Matrix, but with powdered wigs. Here's the twist. Historians did find a few strange details. For example, some locations they described didn't match Versailles in 1901, but did match older layouts from before the Revolution. Coincidence? Or time wizardry? Of course, not everyone's grabbing their DeLoreans just yet. Some skeptics say it was just shared hallucination, brought on by heat, stress, or maybe too much fancy French cheese. Others think they wandered into a historical reenactment. Without TikTok to fact-check it, who would know? But even today, The Moberly Jourdain Incident keeps popping up in books, shows, and the occasional conspiracy forum run by a guy named Chad with 3 monitors and a lot of opinions. Let's be real, we kind of want it to be true. It's comforting to think time isn't this strict linear thing. That maybe, just maybe, the past isn't gone, just hiding behind a hedge somewhere in Versailles. So what do you think? Were Moberly and Jourdain legit time travelers? Or just 2 ladies who took a wrong turn and got way too into the vibes? Imagine you're working at airport immigration, and a well-dressed man hands you a passport from a country that doesn't exist. Like, literally not on any map. What would you do? Call security or check if you're the one going crazy? So here's the story. The year is 1954. Location, Tokyo, Japan. A man arrives at Haneda Airport like any normal traveler. He's dressed smart, speaks multiple languages, and seems totally chill. Until he hands over his passport. The document claims he's from a country called Taured. The immigration officers, confused but curious, check the passport. It looks legit, stamps, visa markings, all that jazz. But there's one tiny problem. Taured doesn't exist. Not on any world map, not in any history book. Nada. When the officials ask him to point it out, he confidently shows a spot near the border of France and Spain, exactly where Andorra is. But when they tell him that, the man gets agitated, saying Taured has existed for over 1,000 years. Plot twist? We're only getting started. Okay, so at this point, the Japanese authorities are like, we need to look into this. Dude might be a spy or worse, a time traveler who forgot his map. They take him to a nearby hotel under guard while they dig deeper into his documents. His passport? Stamped by actual countries. His checks? Valid from legit banks. He even had business correspondence with companies in Tokyo. Companies that do exist. Everything about him screamed real person, except his entire country. But here's the kicker. The next morning, he was gone. Vanished. No trace. No escape route. The guards swear they didn't sleep. His room? Locked from the outside. So unless he pulled a full-on Houdini, what happened? Naturally, the internet has done what it does best. Some say he was from a parallel universe that accidentally overlapped with ours for just a moment. Others think he was a time traveler who slipped through the cracks of history. There are even theories that it was all a fabricated urban legend. Just a story that got out of hand over the years. But the idea of someone slipping through dimensions? That taps into something deeper. It's that spooky what-if part of our brain that asks, what if reality is glitching more than we know? Also, if I ever find myself in a parallel universe, I hope their gas prices are better. So, what's your take? Was the man from Taured a traveler from another dimension, a hoax with good marketing, or someone who just really sucked at geography? So, what do you think? Did these people really travel through time, or were they just really confused tourists? Personally, I love how these mysteries make us question reality just a little bit. Because whether or not you believe in time travel, one thing's for sure, the past is full of some seriously weird stuff. Got a theory? Want to share your favorite time travel moment in pop culture? Drop it in the comments. I'm always lurking. And hey, if you enjoyed the trip through space and time with me, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more strange tales from the edge of reality. Because trust me, we're just getting started.